In this tutorial we're going to go over changing colors of the Synty assets. You can also use it for any texture mapped asset. So these assets come like so, and they are just set like that. We want to change it because in this example I want to grow the plant, and the plant needs to have green sprouts which grow fully and then ripen to the color, and doing it this way will enable me to grow any of the fruit and transition into their original color. So here is a sneak peek at what I'm doing to get you a bit excited about changing RGB values. Sweet, and it just ripens. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into our polyfarm assets, or whatever assets you got. Go into our materials, the base material, we're just going to copy that over into a file that you make for yourself. Copy. We just need to go there. So I'm just going to duplicate that, and then this one is going to be our ripen material. Oops. There we go. So we've got our original copy and then our ripen that we're going to modify. And you don't want to do the original because otherwise you'd have to re-import the asset into the project again if you stuff it up. So I'm just going to save all. So the first way is just a quick and dirty way, and I can do this because I just want to. So I'm just going to hold down 3 and click to get a 3 vector. I can just do this because I want the whole thing green, the same color as the plant. So the first way is this way. I am going to open up my texture and open up my 3 vector, choose color, oops, and I'll show you in a minute how I know which one it is, but it is this color here. That whole square, if you look, if you see the RGB values aren't changing just here, it's only when you go over, so it doesn't matter where you click on that particular part. Hit OK, get out of there. So now just for this example, just to have a use for this, I'm going to go through the demonstration. So I'm just going to make a lerp. So you're going to linear interpolate between the 2 colors. I'm going to hook that up to here. We're just going to promote this to a parameter, and this, oops, we're going to call this our ripen value. So here we have the value constraint, so minimum 0 and the maximum will be 1. So now you just need so add 1 does that. I don't know what parameters have gone. Okay, so that's that. We're going to go to our mesh for our plant. We're going to now export this too. I'm just going to call this, and I've already done it. So literally I will just do that. I just hit OK. static mesh exported. We are going to open up Blender. Blender's free software. You might need to install it if you don't have it, I guess. So, okay, the first thing we'll do, delete. We need to import our mesh, import our FBX. Oh, so that's what I should have mentioned before. So when I exported this, I had to export it as an FBX file. So we're just going to go here. Which one should I do? This one. Import. Zoom in. Just press tab for edit mode. And you can press A to select all faces. Also, to make it easier, just click on up here, select mode for faces instead of the nodes. So A for all. I'm going to right click in this bar for a vertical split. Split the screen in two. Now what we need to do is go to shader editor, and we need to, if you don't have this node here, you need to go add texture, image texture. It's just that node, and you need to go to open image. So in the okay, I thought oh, polygon texture. So here's 1A. We are going to export the texture. TGA, just do bitmap. There we go. Bitmap. So now, up on here we've got our UV maps. So this is our UV map. So we got light maps. It's position 0, position 1, and we will now add another one. Double click to rename. I'll just rename that underscore 2, as that's the position that it's going to be in. If you buy the assets from Synty directly, then you get the source files and you won't have to actually export these out, so then you can get them into Blender. But I bought this pack through Unreal, so it didn't actually come with the source files. Apparently though, you can email them and ask them for the source files if you have purchased it through Unreal. I just haven't got around to doing that. Alright, so where were we? So we've just come through the shader, we've put that in. So now we can go to UV editor. Right, this is where the magic happens, because we've got, so you can't see anything here. This is the color gradient graph. So as soon as I select all the faces, these are the 2 points. So if I select that one, that's red. It's in the red. This one here, it's green. It's in the green. Select A to select all of them. And now just make sure you've got your new UV map that we made just before. Again, that's plus UV map, rename to position 0, position 1, position 2, and all of the faces selected with A. I'm going to select this point here. I'm going to hit G. I'm going to move and click, and that's green now. We can go click on this button here if it loads, and that'll show you the the shading. Now we can see the color. No. So at the moment it's showing the first UV map. If we come to the camera, now you'll see, get out of editing mode, that it is green, and that's the original one. So now this mesh or FBX has two color texture mappings included in it. So that's all we need to do for here. Just now we just got to remember this is the number 2 position that we want for our other color. I think I'm only getting this one because I'm exporting it from Unreal, but I don't know, because yeah, anyways, we are now going to export as an FBX. Just desktop again. I am just going to overwrite that one. Right, back to Unreal. If I go to, just to keep it tidy, sort of make your own folder, and try and copy over everything you relate to in your new folders, and then that way once you finish a project you can just delete all the other assets and it won't be an issue. So we go into meshes, we've got desktop, and I just overwrote this guy, so I'm just going to copy that over. So we don't want a skeletal mesh or anything. And I brought over the, anyways, material. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to just go here to deny if you don't want it. Anyways. So we have got our mesh. So now if we go to materials, I'm now going to duplicate this. I'm going to say ripen underscore UV. So now we don't want that. I am going to duplicate this. And so what we want is a texture coordinate node. Shortcut is hold down U and click, otherwise you got texture coordinate. And what we want to do is hook this up into our UVs, and you will notice this will look weird, but it actually doesn't affect it. I don't know why it changes the look there, but anyway. So our position was 2 before, if you remember. So that was when we were in Blender. So that was our UV mapping. Position 0, 1, 2. And that's what we've chosen. So save. So now, yeah, see, so it's changed. So yeah, anyways, that's the transition. want this set to 0. Save. So if you now give that mesh, specifically the one that we exported, it is green, and in blueprints you can access that value and use something like a time graph. I suppose I could show you. So just run a time graph, and as it's updated you basically just set scalar parameter, and I'm actually referring to that specific material. There you have to put the name, so we called it Ripen. There's Ripen there, and I'm just doing this here. You get a very weird, so this basically just goes from a value from 0 to 1 over time, and I scale that appropriately. The reason why I did this is just because if we go to our default value, okay, so to show it, it becomes a horrible color, or more particularly completely yellow. Open up, and the way I can show it is by in our material, 3 vector, and just take that. That's what I wanted to do last time. So it was this red here. Okay. That's another good way to test it out. So, I believe it was 0.4. Ah. Oops. It was this one, wasn't it? So, get our Ripen parameter. Default value was 0.4. Yeah, so my, oh jeez, blueprint, I think it was this one. Yep. So I came up to 0.35 and 0.65. I basically tried to write those numbers out between that range, because that's not it. This one. So 0.35, that was as much as I was sort of really willing to tolerate. But then you got 0.4, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. Just sort of gets rid of the, because it starts looking a lot better once you get up to those. But depending on the fruit, because if you notice here, we kind of go through that to get to red, which seems to be how it works. I just don't want that color. But so we basically just go to where it starts to tend towards yellow, and then I kind of just skip to over here where it tends away from yellow and hit into that red. So anyways, that's it. So in summation, you can do a quick and dirty one for everything color swap, or we can actually get into the mesh, use Blender, look at the UV mappings, and remap them. You could start to see how you would so if I go A, G, and then make it look like it's dying. That's right. So yeah, start to play around and